Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm glad you're here. As you may have guessed, my speech today is about music. More specifically, why you should play an instrument. So I took a survey of our class, our 14-student class, and of those 14 students, 12 blessed souls took my survey, all of them saying that music is beneficial to our brains. But the next statistic kind of confused me. Of the people who played an instrument when they were young, less than half of them still play that instrument, even though they said it's beneficial to their brains. Why? I don't get it. I'm gonna go over some of the reasons people don't play instruments or stop playing their instruments, and then I'll go over the benefits, and then lastly you'll get to hear a 3-step process of how to get an instrument started. So let's begin. To put it simply, people don't like to put in the time or the money to play an instrument. Mark Nyworth, a concert pianist, says that he practiced for 4 hours every day in high school while working and keeping his grades up and life. Life is crazy. But you don't have to practice 4 hours a day. Even just 20 minutes a day can improve your playing and your brain. The next thing is money. I was looking on for a piano, and in Idaho Falls at the piano gallery, they are selling a used grand piano on sale for $20,000. I was going to put this into perspective of how many donuts I could buy with $20,000, but I don't think my dress size could handle that. So I thought of something a little more practical. Buying a house. So I took the top 10 houses in Soda Springs that are being sold right now, and I averaged them out. That totaled to about $182,000. And Jennifer Redden talks about the how much a down payment the average American does. Last year, in 2019, the average American paid less than 20% on their down payment. So let's say our down payment is 15%. That comes out to $27,000 for our house. So $27,000 on a down payment for a house, or a $20,000 used grand piano. Tough decision. So instead of buying a piano for that much money, I found some alternatives to that with their costs listed here. And as you might notice, there's some extras on the side. This includes repairs, tunings, anything you might need. In addition to the cost effect factor is lessons, which are inevitable if you're learning a new instrument. Lessons can range from $8 to $50 per week, depending on the teacher. Mark Oppenheimer, a journalist for the New York Times, is very adamant about not forcing kids to play instruments, specifically of the classical nature. He talks about a survey in which he talked to parents who used to play instruments. Mark Oppenheimer said that none of the parents he talked to still played their instruments, which is crazy. He said, what's the point of learning if you're never going to use it again? He also talks about the benefits of learning Ho Hey by Lumineers on guitar versus a violin concerto. He says that you might want to play it at a summer camp or with your friends more, which is probably true. I accept that. But you're still learning the instrument and you're still gaining those skills and neurological pathways. There are some benefits that are proven through scientific studies. Dr. Timo Krings talks about motor skills, and motor skills are just what you do with your hands. For example, playing video games, writing with your pencil, or strumming a guitar, or playing the piano. And she said that learning an instrument, especially while you're young, you can greatly improve your motor skills. Another physical benefit to learning an instrument is that you might get some exercise, especially if you play the drums. You might work up a sweat. Levi at Joy is the chief editor at Joy Tunes. He says that your brain is affected beneficially by music. Your social part of your brain and your musical part of your brain is very intertwined. It's using the same parts, and that makes you a little bit more social. We all need more friends, right? Jordan Taylor Sloan talks about pianists specifically, and about the central sulcus, which is the part of your brain that determines whether you're right-handed or left-handed. So what it means is if your central sulcus is deeper on the right side, you're going to be right-handed, and the same goes for the left side. But in pianists, their central sulcus is relatively symmetrical. This means they're pretty ambidextrous, and I can attest to that, saying that I've played piano for 8 going on 9 years, and I really use my left hand a lot. Anna Pino talks about, is a scientist focused on the frontal lobe primarily, and the frontal lobe is serves a purpose in problem solving and data analysis. So as you're playing an instrument, you are creating pathways to problem solve and analyze all that data a little bit faster. I have a little story. My brother Dallin was in a car crash when he was 21. He had several broken bones, he had a collapsed lung, and he had to have heart surgery, and he had frontal lobe damage. His personality was a lot different, and he couldn't do things normally anymore. So my parents took him to a psychologist who recommended that he go back to playing difficult pieces on the piano. He also started a drum class. These things helped him improve greatly, especially since his brain wasn't fully developed. He is now a doctor helping other people, and he loves to play the piano with his family. So I told you I was going to give you 3 steps to get into the instruments again, or for the first time if you haven't started. So I want you to get out a piece of paper so that you can write them down so that you don't forget. And I can wait while you do that. You know, just chilling. Do you have one? Now, if you didn't move, I'm assuming that you already had paper. Good for you. I'm really proud of you. So let's jump right in. The first step you have to do is find your instrument. You have to find which one you like and which one is going to be cost effective. So you might have to do a little bit of research there, but you have to find the one that calls to you, the one that plays your song. Next, you're going to want to find a teacher. You can do this through many ways. You can do it through an app, YouTube subscriptions, or my personal favorite, word of mouth. Find someone in your community that plays your instrument and learn from them. The last thing you have to do, and this one's really, really important, I hope you're writing it down. You have to set aside time every day to practice your instrument, or you're not going to progress. and reap those benefits. You really want to get those benefits. That's why you're here, right? And it might take time, but as I said, learning anything takes time. And with time, maybe a long time for some things, your talent will blossom. So, everyone should play piano. I mean, an instrument. While some may say it's not worth it and that you shouldn't play an instrument, you should go out and research for yourself.